Reading this submitted transcript about the U.S. strikes on Iran, it really feels like navigating a jungle with two totally contradictory maps. We've got Admiral Cooper claiming massive success on one hand, and then that leaked intel about untouched missile stockpiles on the other. So let's just jump right into the critique.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the core issue is that relying purely on a point-counterpoint structure between official testimony and leaked reports leaves the audience without a clear understanding of the actual strategic reality.
Right. I mean, it's basically just throwing facts at us.
Exactly. The script presents Cooper's claim of shattered command and control right next to that New York Times report of 70% missile retention. But the weakness is that it forces the listener to independently weigh these completely incompatible metrics.
Yeah, it's like, here are the numbers, now figure it out yourself.
Right. And instead of just tossing competing data at the audience, this piece really needs an independent analytical framework to evaluate how these two realities might actually coexist or, contradict.
Wait, so are we treating missiles retained and command destroyed as like the exact same currency here? Because, think of it like a car. If Iran has a powerful engine, which is the 70% of missiles they kept, but absolutely no steering wheel because their command and control is shattered, how much of an actual threat remains?
Oh, that is a perfect analogy. And the script needs to explicitly answer that question. You could add a brief synthesis explaining whether that shattered command effectively neutralizes the 70% stockpile.
Yeah, or maybe clarify if destroying 85% of their industrial base impacts immediate battlefield threats or if it just, hinders long-term manufacturing.
Exactly. Because if you just list the statistics side by side, the audience has no idea if that car is about to run them over or if it's just a parked piece of heavy metal.
Right. And if the audience doesn't know whether the car is parked or moving, they definitely won't understand how to interpret the ensuing political fallout over the $29 billion price tag used to dismantle it. Which I guess brings us to the structure of the piece's second half.
Yeah, the abrupt pivot from military statistics to a standard partisan breakdown really fragments the narrative tension.
It feels so disjointed, right? Like we just suddenly drop into this partisan bickering?
Yeah, shifting straight from Cooper's defense to Republican optimism and then immediately to Democratic concerns about the cost reduces a highly complex military analysis into a routine, predictable political divide.
So the political reactions are basically just floating there as standalone quotes, completely separated from the military effectiveness.
Exactly. The suggestion here is to restructure those political reactions so they directly anchor to the specific military metrics we just established. That creates a seamless cause and effect flow.
Okay, so how would that actually look in the draft? Like, how do we force those metrics to collide?
Well, you could pair the Republican highlight of the 85% industrial base destruction directly alongside Cooper's testimony of the campaign's overarching success.
Oh, and then juxtapose that defined success with the Democratic concern over the sheer volume of resources expended to achieve it.
Right. Explicitly link the staggering 13,629 U.S. munitions used directly to that $29 billion price tag.
Wow, yeah, when you connect the specific munitions to the cost, the abstract complaining suddenly has real undeniable weight to it.
Yeah, it transforms a list of isolated quotes into a cohesive, ongoing argument about cost versus operational benefit.
That is exactly what this needs. To elevate this piece, you really have to shift away from that simple he said, they reported framing. Actively analyze how these competing military metrics interact.
Definitely. And restructure the political commentary so it flows logically from those strategic realities. Once you synthesize those two contradictory maps, the audience will actually start seeing the real strategic picture.
Right, so fix those structural links to tighten the narrative impact, and please submit the revised draft back to us for another critique.